Welcome to Biblical Bites. Today, we're diving into an intriguing and often debated topic. What does the Bible say about veganism? With the growing interest in plant-based diets, many are curious about how these choices align with biblical teachings. In this video, we'll explore various biblical references and passages related to diet and food. We'll start by examining the diet in the Garden of Eden and the dietary laws given to the Israelites, then move on to the New Testament perspectives on food and dietary choices. Our goal is to provide a balanced overview of what the Bible says about veganism, considering both historical contexts and modern interpretations. Whether you're vegan, vegetarian, or simply curious, this discussion aims to shed light on how the Bible addresses the question of what we should eat. In the beginning, God provided a plant-based diet for humanity. Genesis 1:29 states, "Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food." This suggests that the original diet intended for humans was vegan, focusing on plants, fruits, and seeds. As the narrative progresses, we encounter detailed dietary laws in the book of Leviticus. These laws distinguish between clean and unclean animals and prescribe what the Israelites could and could not eat. While not vegan, these laws demonstrate a structured approach to diet, emphasizing holiness and obedience to God's commandments, which included both plant-based and animal-based foods. Meat played a significant role in the diet of people in biblical times, particularly in the context of sacrifices and feasts. Post-flood, God permitted Noah and his descendants to eat meat, Genesis 9:3. In many biblical accounts, meat is associated with hospitality and celebration, such as the fatted calf in the parable of the prodigal son, Luke 15:23. This reflects a broader dietary practice that included meat alongside plant-based foods within the cultural and religious framework of the time. The diet in the Garden of Eden was explicitly plant-based. Genesis 1:29 through 30 highlights that God provided every seed-bearing plant and tree with fruit as food for humans and animals. This initial prescription reflects a vegan diet, emphasizing harmony with creation and a peaceful existence without the need for animal consumption. After the flood, God expanded humanity's dietary options to include meat. In Genesis 9:3, God told Noah, "Everything that lives and moves about will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything." This shift marked a significant change from the Edenic diet, acknowledging a broader scope of food sources in a post-flood world. The story of Daniel presents a notable example of a plant-based diet for spiritual purposes. Daniel and his friends chose to consume only vegetables and water, avoiding the king's rich foods and wine. Their diet led to better health and wisdom, as described in Daniel 1:8 through 16. This passage is often cited by those advocating for veganism or vegetarianism, highlighting the potential physical and spiritual benefits of a plant-based diet. The New Testament provides several instances indicating that Jesus and the apostles consumed fish and meat. For example, Jesus fed the 5,000 with loaves and fish, Matthew 14:19, and ate broiled fish with his disciples after his resurrection, Luke 24:42 through 43. These accounts suggest that Jesus and his followers included animal products in their diet, reflecting common dietary practices of the time. Paul addresses dietary practices in his letters, advocating for freedom and respect regarding food choices. In Romans 14:2 through 3, he notes that some believers eat everything, while others eat only vegetables, urging mutual acceptance. In 1 Corinthians 8:8 through 13, Paul emphasizes that food does not bring us closer to God, and one should avoid eating anything that might cause another believer to stumble. These teachings highlight the importance of personal conviction and consideration for others in dietary matters. While the New Testament does not explicitly advocate for vegetarianism, some early Christians adopted plant-based diets for ascetic and ethical reasons. Historical records indicate that certain Christian communities practiced vegetarianism as a way to exercise self-control and demonstrate compassion. This early adoption of vegetarian principles illustrates the diversity of thought and practice regarding diet within the Christian tradition. The concept of stewardship is fundamental in the Bible, highlighting humanity's responsibility to care for God's creation. Genesis 2:15 illustrates this when God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. This stewardship extends to all living creatures, encouraging a respectful and sustainable approach to how we interact with the environment and its inhabitants. Compassion and mercy towards animals are also emphasized in the scriptures. Proverbs 12:10 states, "The righteous care for the needs of their animals," reflecting the importance of treating animals with kindness. This perspective aligns with the ethical considerations of veganism, advocating for the humane treatment of all living beings. The principle of love and consideration for others is a core teaching in the New Testament. Romans 14:21 advises believers to avoid causing others to stumble by their dietary choices, highlighting the importance of being mindful and respectful of different convictions. This principle encourages a compassionate approach to dietary practices, promoting unity and understanding within the community. Modern Christian views on veganism vary widely among different denominations and communities. Some denominations, such as Seventh-day Adventists, actively promote plant-based diets for health and spiritual reasons. Others may see dietary choices as a matter of personal conviction, with no specific doctrinal stance on veganism. The influence of modern ethical veganism has led many Christians to reconsider traditional dietary practices. Ethical concerns about animal welfare, environmental sustainability, and health benefits have prompted a growing number of Christians to adopt vegan or vegetarian lifestyles. This shift often aligns with biblical principles of compassion, stewardship, and respect for God's creation. Overall, while there is no uniform Christian stance on veganism, the dialogue continues to evolve. Many believers are finding that a plant-based diet can be a meaningful expression of their faith, aligning with their values of mercy, justice, and care for the environment. In summary, our exploration of what does the Bible say about veganism has illuminated various biblical perspectives on diet and food choices. From the plant-based diet in Eden to the dietary laws in Leviticus and the ethical considerations in the New Testament, we've seen how these teachings inform discussions on veganism today. We've delved into the spiritual and ethical considerations of stewardship, compassion towards animals, and the principle of love and consideration for others, highlighting the relevance of these principles in guiding dietary decisions in a modern context. If you found this exploration enlightening, consider subscribing to our channel for more insightful discussions on biblical topics and ethical considerations. Don't forget to like this video to support our efforts in bringing you meaningful content that explores the intersection of faith, ethics, and contemporary issues. Your engagement helps us continue to create valuable content for our community. Thank you for joining us on this journey through biblical insights on veganism. We look forward to welcoming you back for future explorations and discussions.